So, you need to take the placement test? The placement test are for the younger students. Actually, the placement tests are for all students interested in starting their college career here at Kapi Olani Community College. Hi, everyone. My name is Sheldon from Kapi Olani Community College's Kuile Outreach Program, and we're here to talk about the placement test. It's really not that bad. The placement test is our way to determine the most appropriate starting point for English and math. But what if I fail the test? Impossible. The placement test is not a pass fail exam, it is a placement test. Actually, there are several options that we can explore to determine where you can start in math and English. One option would be your high school transcripts. While you are submitting your application to Kapiolani Community College, there will be an opportunity for you to self-report your grade point average and the writing and math courses you took in high school. Another option would be to also self-report your SAT or ACT scores in your UH application. We're going to ask for those scores and the date that you took those exams. Another option is a program called EdReady. And that program can be done in the comforts of your own home. And again, not timed. And so that could be another option to determine your starting point in English and math. Here, I'm going to show you what EdReady looks like. And so if you go to the EdReady UH page, it's uh.edready.org. There you can look at all the tutorials, start guides that provide a really good overview of what EdReady looks like. And let's say you want to get started, you just click here to get started. And it will ask you to create a EdReady account. And pretty straightforward, as you can see here. And once you fill out all this information over here, you can then sign up for EdReady. Once you've created an account with EdReady, you can go ahead and get started. And so this is what it looks like after you log in. You can go to your placement test under your goals, and then you can get ready, go to your goal. And so you'll see a bunch of options, one for English and a few for math. And so for the English, pretty straightforward. If you look at the details, it's pretty straightforward. You just want to go through each step. And then for math, it really kind of depends. You have three options. And again, it really kind of just sort of depends on what you're going to pursue in college. Let's take, for instance, you're thinking about maybe a degree in business. You may want to do path 2 or 3. If you're thinking about a degree that may not be so math intensive or science intensive, maybe you think about actually path 1. And so this is what EdReady looks like. And let me show you an example of maybe path 1. This is what you're going to learn in path 1. And actually, let me show you path 2 and 3 as well. So here's path 2, all the problems you're going to be tested on, and then path 3. And so again, this is not a timed test, and it's free. And you can start it, start it, pause it, and the results will determine where you begin for English and math. Another option, another free option to determine your starting point in English and math would be you got it, the Accuplacer. All right, so let's dive into the Accuplacer. Again, this is another free option to determine your starting point in English and math. And so unfortunately, I cannot show you what the test will look like, but I can share with you examples. So if we go to the KCC Testing Center homepage, you'll see several links that will provide you insight on what the test may look like. And so for the math, if you look at the math content overview, it will show you some examples of what you can expect to see on the placement test. Now, with the placement test, you have two starting points. You can start off either at qualitative reasoning, algebra, and statistics, or you can start off at advanced algebra. What you want to do is think back to the last math class you successfully completed, and that'll determine where you would start. The way the test works, it'll show you 20 questions. And in those 20 questions, it'll change. And so, for instance, let's say you get question number one right. Number two will change. Let's say you get question number two right. Number three will change. Let's say you get number four wrong. The question number five will adjust and will maybe present you with a different question. So keep making these adjustments based on how you answer the question. Um, it's very important that you determine that you. It's very important that you start at the right starting point. And so let's say the last class you took was, say, trigonometry. You definitely want to start at advanced algebra. Let's say you did really well in algebra 2. I would say start off at advanced algebra as well. Let's say you took algebra 1 and you thought, you know what, I want to give advanced algebra a try. Knock yourself out. But what will happen is, let's say the questions were way over your head, and let's say you got most of them incorrect. What the test will do is bump you to the next level, which is, again, qualitative reasoning, and present you with another set of 20 questions. Again, this test is to make this test is to determine the most appropriate starting point in math. And so the last thing we want to do is put you at the wrong math, or put you in the wrong math course. So let's jump into writing. Writing is pretty straightforward. What the test is going to do is it's going to show you a prompt, and you're basically writing an essay. And if you look at the bottom of the page, this is what the test is going to grade you on. And so, things to keep in mind for both writing and math, the test will not be timed. So please don't rush. So do writing one day and then do math on a separate day. If you do it all at once, that's totally fine. It takes students maybe about, on average, 2 hours to complete both in one sitting. I've seen students do better when they separate the test and take it on separate days. So they'll do writing on one day and then math on another day. That way they're going into the test with a fresh brain. And then they just seem to do a whole lot better when they separate the two tests. And so, again, here it is, Accuplacer, writing and math. Again, to determine your starting point in our KCC English and math courses. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope this helped. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. I'm going to maybe somehow magically have the contact information appear at the bottom of the screen. And we'll see you soon at Kapi Olani Community College.